Okay. Alright, so that took a hot minute. Alrighty, so this is the Yakuza Remake for PS4. I'm playing the free roam mode, which you can get after you finish the game. That's pretty much the only way you can broadcast any of the gameplay footage. It's kind of a huge pain in the ass. But, whatever. It's not that bad. Besides, it prevents you from spoiling the story for people, and I get the logic. Oh. Awesome. Twitch has the wrong title on my video. Whatever. Life will go on. Alright. Nope. Came here to do this. I'm gonna change it to nighttime. Because as cool as I think Kamurocho looks during the daytime, it's actually just much more enjoyable at night. In my opinion. So yeah. Stream looks like it's doing just fine, which is great. It's kind of weird to watch your own stream while you play. Anywho. So I have a bunch of mini games and fighting challenges to finish, which I would like to do, because the game is pretty enjoyable at this stage. I've got a fully upgraded character now, which, if you do play the remake, I assume this is going to come to the States, just because it's, I don't know, it's basically a pre-made game, they just got to translate. I got a little bit distracted there. But yeah, the game is solid. Like, the first game was a little bit clunky and had issues. It was on a static camera. This has all of that relieved, obviously. Got a little bit of sync camera there for you. But, no, the entire game has a free camera, free roam. It feels really nice, but it also looks crazy realistic. If you've never been to Japan, it probably doesn't really convey it as well as you might expect, but like, this looks exactly like Kabukicho, which is the actual kind of shady part of Japan. But it's really not that bad. I mean, just like the game is worse than reality, and it's really not bad here either. Anywho, I'm gonna go play tiny little race cars, because why not? So, one of the new things they added in this game, this came out after the prequel game was produced in Japan, Yakuza 0, or Yuga Gotoku 0, and that covers like the, you know, pre-setup for all this stuff and some earlier things, but since this came out afterwards, they'll actually reference back to it very directly in the story. Which is kind of cool, because you get these really nicely rendered, full-frame flashbacks and stuff. Anywho, I'm going to do a little race car thing, because why not? There's a reason I'm doing this, too. Alright, do I have the speed? I got 43. Let's see how that goes. I tried this one before and I didn't have enough battery power to make it through. I got screwed. Probably because I wasn't using my boost. No, don't fall out. Oh god, I'm gonna die. Yes, you get the best face. That's the entire reason I came here. Yeah, this is actually a really fun little mini game. You race these. You race these little motor cars, and you have to actually customize all the parts to make them turn better, have better balance, weight, cornering, etc. It's not that complex or hard to figure out, and it's really fun actually. Like, it's also present in the prequel, and they reference that because you're the champion from something like 17 years ago. Well, Yakuza didn't like what I was doing, so oh, that's a first. Ah, Majima. Alright, let me get those guys out of the way. So this is Majima. He is one of the other bosses of the area, and I'm getting my butt kicked because I'm talking. And basically he's crazy. But this game added a system they call Majima Anywhere, which is literally he will just jump you in random back alleys. Because all he wants to do is challenge the strongest fighter in the city. And that used to be you. And you're not that strong anymore, so he just wants to keep getting you there. That red flash is me repeatedly blocking his attacks. Trust me, until I could do that, he was really, really hard. Now he's still kicking my butt, but I'm actually playing that more on the stream because he hasn't been this much trouble for me in a while. But whatever, I don't care. This game fully expects you to use consumables during boss fights. You totally can God hand it and go perfect and no hits, but that's not me. Get over here. Yep. There we go. So these are the heat moves. If you check out under my life bar, you got basically the combo or action gauge, which is heat gauge. And the little sections of it are what trigger whether or not you can do certain actions. So what's really difficult early on is when your heat gauge is small, that part where his life bar restores, you have to pull off a heat action to cancel it. But if you don't have a full enough heat gauge, you can't pull the move, obviously. And early on, it's really easy to not have enough. And I had been kind of just plowing through the game, not intending to be rushing through it, but I had just been plowing ahead, and I wound up being really understocked on my heat gauge. So the first time I fought him, he's dashing around me, and I couldn't do anything. Oh. There we go. Alright. So yeah, he's also given me a crap ton of experience now. So yeah, the system in this game, he literally will just jump you wherever you're walking around. And you gradually rank up with him. This is actually really fun, and I think it's really great for the gameplay, but story-wise, they added it after the fact in the remake, and it leads to some really strange moments in the story where, like, the game expects you to not have seen him for quite a long time, and then he just shows up in the story again. And so it's supposed to be surprising, but he's just been attacking you every 3 seconds while you're wandering around the city, so it really, that moment kind of loses all of its impact. But it was still a really good moment anyway. Let me get 2 of these. So it's really surreal to play this, because a lot of the things they sell in this and things you can buy are all real things here in Japan. Anywho, let's see. What was I doing? I really wanted everybody to see that race car face when he loses. It's so crushingly real, it makes me die laughing every time. Let's see. Oh, I can go do the fight arena. So, I wish they would at least, like, give me something to spend my experience on, or just take the experience bar away after I complete the tree, because that number's just going to keep getting ridiculously more and more huge as I go on. On the inventory screen, you can see it when I pause. I got 847 experience, which is quite a lot, but I'm not going to use it on anything ever, and it's only going to get massively huger as I keep going. When you start fighting Majima, he drops, like, not drops, he gives you, like, I don't know, 5, 10, 20, and now each time I fight him, I'm getting, like, 80 to 100. Easy. So, the game here is really solid. I really like it. The game world's not very huge. I guess if you're watching, there could be like some minor location spoilers, but not really. I mean, you're gonna miss all the context for them, so it doesn't really matter. But that's kind of what I like, is that the story in this is excellent. If you haven't played it before, then it's really the best way to experience it. And if you have played it before, it's way nicer looking, and it adds a whole bunch of scenes in to make things make more sense. A lot of motivations are explained with flashbacks that didn't exist in the original game. So anyways, yeah, the entire game is in Japanese, but if you speak spoken Japanese, it's really easy. And if you can navigate a little bit of kanji, you'll be fine. My kanji skill is not amazing, but it's good enough to get me through this. I will say, when they have missions or subquests where there isn't attached dialogue, that confounds me quite a bit more, but you get used to it. Alright. I got my butt kicked last time here, but let's give it a try. Now I have to take down, I believe, 3 guys without... Come on. Oh, is this new? This is new. Alright, never mind. So, what's cool about the fight arena is while you fight, people yell out requests to you, and if you do it in the middle of a fight, you get more points. Oh, what's also great is actual celebrities are in the fighting ring, as well as in the game itself, which is kind of surreal. I keep using that word, but it is pretty weird. Oh. Yeah, so that guy was asking me to pull a perfect guard. game also makes some really smart choices with how they do load times. Anyways, all the battles are loaded in and have like a little transition animation, and when you finish, they do that little action shot and the fade out, and that's actually just masking the loading behind the that little still shot. It's very clever, and it works really seamlessly. So you can see my heat gauge is like almost empty now, which is bad because all your stances work a little bit differently as your heat gauge is filled up. Specifically, this power stance I'm in now, while the heat gauge has something in it. Oh. Anyways, while the heat gauge has something in it, the power stance is actually really strong at resisting hits, so it's really hard to get knocked down. You can avoid getting staggered by a lot of stuff. But the way each stance accumulates heat on the gauge is different. The stance I'm in now, the rush stance, if I dodge attacks, I accumulate it, as well as doing confidence, of course. I don't know what the stance translates to, but yeah, this is just the, hey, oh, I beat it. Yay, I got money. I've got 300 points. I can get the first scroll. Yeah, this is what you really want out of this place. You want these scrolls. Take a brief detour to go see the homeless trainer. So, the thing that really struck me about this game, and probably why it's so hard to localize and like advertise, is one of the parts of it that's so true, like on the money, is how it portrays Japanese nightlife. Because if you've never been here, random side mission.
Nani?
Sorry, trying to read all this.
Nani?
Oh no, she wants to interview me for a thing on bad old guys and bad old guys in the city. I really don't want to do this right now, so no, sorry. I'll come back later when I feel like being interviewed. Some of these submissions are really fun, but some of them are incredible. Like, they're just dialogue trees, which are, again, really entertaining, but they strain my comprehension skills, so I'm not going to do that on the stream. I forgot my book, though. Right. Alright, hold on. Let me pull out a wooden sword. I think I still have one on me. all I have are lethal weapons. Where's the safe booth? There's one. It was the giant glowing blue S. And I should still have one in the... Yeah. Yes, that is a lightsaber. Also a fan and a fish. Anywho. Let's do some challenges. Alright.
Sayo.
This guy's also really hard because he's a old-style Japanese guy speaking in really dated terms. So I'm kind of blowing past some of it because I don't want to focus on it. Yeah, he's basically a tutorial guy. Oh, he made my Gotoku infinite, which is great. Wish it could be infinite forever. Alright. Is that it? Okay, that is it.
Yeah. そうじゃ。なんじゃと？
I don't care. Okay. Oh, anyways. Let's see, what else is interesting? Oh, I kicked a dog. I didn't mean to do that. Wow, actually, this is the first roaming dog I've seen in the game. Just chilling with this dude in the park. Huh. I do think there's way too many fire barrels in this game. I mean, my time in Japan, I really haven't had that much fire barrel experience, honestly.
Oh.
That's a lot of dudes. Okay. What's this objective? Oh, I have to beat them all in 3 minutes, I think. Yeah. Oh, am I locked into my rage style? No, yeah, I am. Okay. I'm fully upgraded, so that probably wasn't as hard as it was meant to be. Mm-hmm. So yeah, the mechanics in this are pretty simple on the surface. But I guess showing you a fully upgraded character doesn't really demonstrate all the depth. Basically, the early game is a struggle to keep that heat gauge up. And now that I have the fully upgraded car, it's kind of laughably easy in some aspects. But it's still fun. Okay. Let's do something else. Oh, finished 30 sub-stories. Yeah, see, I need to get more of these scrolls from the fighting arena, and they'll unlock more moves. The other ones are tied to Majima, which is, again, these are really good for gameplay. It's very entertaining. Because, honestly, looking back on it, if I was just fighting random, you know, gang members and stuff around the city, I mean, that's not bad. But every now and then having Majima show up to just really wreck your day is absolutely worth it. Plus, he's a great source of experience in the early game. He's still, because his health bar starts off just at normal. Oh, you can hear him somewhere nearby. Which is kind of weird, but, Whoa. Anywho, yeah, early game, you don't have most of your moves and stuff unlocked. And Majima is way stronger than you, but he only has one boss health bar at that point. And, yeah, he only has one boss health bar at that point. And as you fight against him in the city, he gradually gains more. The most absurd I've seen in this game was the purple health bars that you show up in the very late game. I'm sure EX hard mode will have them all the time, but anyway, yeah, I'm sure EX hard mode is all purple health bars all the way, but that was a absolute pain. So anyways, got off track from my original story, but this game does a really great job at showing, like, the seedy Japanese nightlife, just how this kind of district treats women and, you know, stuff like that. Like, that's all completely in the game. They talk about in, like, translating and localizing this, like how they didn't want to include host clubs in the third one because it was too much work and stuff like that. But, like, so much of this, Pipe? Oh no, it's actually a Kasana. Why was he carrying that? Anyways, yeah, the host clubs are one thing, but there's a whole bunch of just straight up prostitution in this part of Japan. Hell, just Japan in general. And that's something that this game doesn't like incorporate like in a Grand Theft Auto style would, but they absolutely talk about it. It's referenced a lot. It's a thing that happens. And it's I don't know, it's kind of like keep using words surreal, but again, it's more, way more than Grand Theft Auto, which is way exaggerated, or like 90% of games that showed New York City or Seattle or something. It's not just the buildings, but it's all the little things about it that are like represented here. So, like if I pull up the map, the playable area is tiny as hell compared with all those games. It's like, this is just a city block. Like in real life, I've been here, you can walk from one end to the other in not even 5 minutes, but everything in here is ridiculously realized. Like that's a real pizza chain. Like these are a lot of these are real brands, and the ones that aren't are like really similar looking. The parking signs the same, etc., etc. Anywho, so they add in all the like unpleasant and seedy parts of it, because it is a game about organized crime. That makes sense. But they do a good job of both, you know, semi-glorifying it because it is a game about organized crime and, you know, the brotherhood of the mafia and that sort of stuff. But they also don't make it look too nice. At least not the really rough parts. The host clubs are totally made to look nice, but that's a whole different issue. Alright, just pass out already. But yeah, all of that just, like, it gives it a really rounded out feeling that they don't pretend like that isn't here. Because my favorite bar where I used to live in Japan was like just lined on a street. Sorry, it was on a street just lined with all these kinds of, you know, seedy businesses left and right and sideways, and you have to basically walk the gauntlet just to go get a good drink. And yeah, so it's nice that the game didn't shy away from that. So, when this game does come out stateside, I highly recommend on the upgrade tree. There's a few moves that are really essential. One of them is the finisher cancel. Sorry, the finisher style change. So whenever you get off the heavy hit on your triangle, you'll notice I'll do a 3-hit combo and then I'll change styles sometimes. When you start the game, you can't change styles on freely. You have to like take a step back and switch, and it takes a moment. But now every time I land a heavy hit, I can change styles instantly. So yeah. Majima's around, I can hear him. But the style change is really important. The heat gauge is really important, and a lot of the heat skills are super important. But yeah, for me the biggest one was the one in the main fighting style. It's called Chinpira, where the blue style you'll see me using a lot. The most important thing from that was getting, this is awesome, shop. It's a convenience store chain here. They just changed the name. But, sorry, I got distracted again. Yeah, the most important one for that was getting damage canceling, which meant that anytime I took damage, I had the ability to either dodge outward, and then later I also got the counter, which meant that when I got damaged, I could either mash X to dodge out, or mash one of my attack buttons to throw a counter punch at the same moment, as long as I tapped guard. Which is huge, because early game, large crowds will stun lock the hell out of you, and you'll just sit there and take a beating, crawl away, and then come back from the outside. And that might not be true for everybody. It was true for me, though. I sucked pretty hard when I started. Accurate depiction of life in Japan. Come on. Oh yeah. This is the most unrealistic part of the game, though. UFO catchers are not this easy. They have the tension on the arms set like crazy loose. There's no way it would pick up something that easily. So when I say they like depict the way women in these areas are like kind of treated or portrayed, the reason I call attention to that is like the game itself. Oh, hold on, I got another random Majima. Oh, shit. That's not good. Damn, I'm gonna use that bike against it. On the other side of that barrier. You see me shining red there for a moment. That's where I am canceling out and taking damage. Also getting my butt kicked, so. Stop focusing on talking, focus on not dying. So if you'll notice, now that I have this aura about me, things are quite a bit different. You get stunned and knocked out of your attacks a lot easier without the aura. So if you look at the bar, the large chunk at the beginning is the one that determines whether or not you have the aura. Everything afterwards is just a little additional increment. But to pull off the basic level moves requires at least enough aura to fill that first section. Yeah, and see, now I've lost it, so if I don't get it back, he's going to start putting the hurt on me. God damn it. On cue. pushes over like that and he lets off that blue smokish aura, he's recovering health right then. And that took me a while to figure out exactly what was going on. So in this style, blocking builds my heat meter as well. Oh. So, one thing the game still struggles a little bit with, in my opinion, is determining your direction, because it feels kind of like frustrating when you're attacking thin air, because as much as you want the freedom to move wherever you want to go, it's still very it's frustrating when you're sitting there punching a corner and your enemy's just kind of dancing around you, because they auto-track on you, and I've watched them pull some ridiculous bullshit as they aim at me. Whereas your attacks, you're allowed to move freely, which is great most of the time. Alright, oh, they're about to attack me. But, there's a button that lets you hone in on one person, which is great. It's just when you get really close to people is when it starts to fall apart a little bit. It's like, you see when I'm really close to somebody, they circle straight, try and walk around. Or if I just pull a heavy attack that doesn't connect, I'll swing past them, and then all my subsequent attacks won't adjust at all. They'll just keep attacking thin air. And, yeah. I guess it's a little hard to fully convey without trying it yourself, but that's kind of how it feels, is that there's far too many moments when you know where you want to attack and you're pushing that direction, but the way he turns and pivots doesn't allow it. And I think that's just a slight design mistake, or something they haven't quite ironed out yet. So, yeah, the game is gorgeous. The textures look great. I don't want that guy to stab me. Anywho, yeah. Yeah, if you just hang out for a moment, he'll smoke a cigarette. Oh yeah, I keep losing my train of thought, but the reason I got on to how they depict women and stuff in this is that while they're quite, like, on the money for how it is in reality, there are some things that they went ahead and added to the game, which I think are like, they're meant to be like a satire. Like, if I'm giving them a lot of credit, they could be a satire, but they still just feel really awkward. Oh, there's another Majima fight. But in particular, there is a card battling minigame, which you fight different beetles and insects against each other, which sounds great, because this is something that kids actually do in Japan. They'll, like, raise little kabutomushi and make them fight each other. And it's pretty great. The game in the game is just basically an arcade game. It's rock, paper, scissors. Only it gets really uncomfortable because all of the... First off, it's a bunch of little kids who are the only opponents you have in the game. And then, well, aside from Majima. But the beetles are all actually scantily clad women wearing like a beetle hat. And they're all rendered in-game and stuff. It's really awkward. And so, the game itself is not like... And, hey, I'm getting off track. The reason it stood out to me, though, is it's something I could actually see Japan making. Like, I could see a company in Japan thinking this is a good idea, and marketing it and selling it. So yeah, I'm gonna try... I might show that minigame at some point, but not right now. So, the damage canceling is really, really effective at quickly reversing your direction. You'll see what I mean here when he gets around behind me. Before you have damage canceling, turning back around just to end that is so aggravating. Because they'll get behind you and you'll just basically be finished. Because they can just, you know, stun lock you from behind, knock you down, and then get a bunch of free damage in. But, if they, Oh, I ranked up again. So every time you rank up with him, you'll get a special mission that's going to be delivered by either by text message or phone call. The very first one is really easy to miss, actually. Let's see, where am I? I think it's this direction, yeah. So, there's the Club Sega down the road. Here it is. This giant traffic cone across from the Smile Burger. He hides under this after you rank up the first time, and he will stay here until you find him. So, he disappeared for like 2 hours of real time in you know, real time. Now, I kind of thought it was strange, and then I eventually looked it up, and yeah, he'll just stay there forever, and I never would have noticed this. It like rattles around a little bit when he's under it, but yeah, it's bizarre. Anywho, yeah, this game's awesome. The fighting is... Yep, there's the phone call. So the next one, I need to ride a taxi. I'm 99% certain he's just going to be a taxi driver, which is fine. My mini-map has all the taxis marked as his mission. That's great. Anywho, but yeah, the game really works in a way that I think Grand Theft Auto has like an infinite number of side missions, but all of them are like very pointless feeling, you know? They feel very, I don't know, just cuz. Like, a lot of them feel like they were there just to pad things out. Whereas the side missions and things in this game, I don't think they're that much better in terms of like, you know, I'm not crying or weeping over any of that. But, okay, I've never done that before. Oh yeah. Beat this man with a motorcycle. Sorry, I'm just enjoying this moment. Anyways, the I completely lost my train of thought. Sorry. Whatever I was talking about, I'll see it on the stream later. But, Oh yeah, Grand Theft Auto and side missions and stuff. All the side missions in this game, again, they're not like that much more realistic or unrealistic than Grand Theft Auto, but like, for Grand Theft Auto would have you, you know, find a random homeless man and drive him around in the back of a taxi at 50 miles an hour and throw grenades out the window. This one has you find a homeless guy who wants a beer, and then you give him a beer and he gives you nothing. And then, if you're willing to do it like 2 more times, he'll tell you a really good hint, and then you go find something and it's amazing. And it's kind of more, I don't know, less absurd, but more, you know, surreal maybe. There's a whole like Also, Kiryu can run really fast, so if I don't want to fight, I just run. Oh, actually this is a good opportunity to eat food. I like the smiley face on the door. But yeah, side missions are mostly fun, interesting stuff to do, which I've got a bunch of them left now. And like, I'd say a solid half of them at this point revolve around, you know, finding someone's lost item, dealing with drunk people, and dealing with random dumb bullshit with Yakuza, which is fun. Let's see, there's a handful of foreigners in the city, which I like. Although I will say they got all the foreigners have a really strong accent. Chinese people have a strong Chinese accent, but it's still way better than the horrible accent they give all the white people. All the white people in this game speak with like this atrocious, like really try hard English accent. It's I don't know the right way to put it. I really don't. But I don't know. Yeah, I'm not gonna ape it right now. Also, the very first person I encountered with this was a humongous black dude who talked like he had brain damage, so it was kind of a double whammy there. Game's pretty as hell, though. The main story I haven't talked about at all. I freaking love the main story in this game. The direction on all the like cinematics, like in-game and like pre-rendered and stuff. Although I don't know if they're actually pre-rendered. I think they are. But the direction on all those is excellent. And all the He's pulled a baseball bat out of the back of his shirt. That man comes out of there. Holy crap! Alright, that's a first. Oh, wow. It took like all my gauge though. Oh man. That was the first and it was totally worth it. But yeah, the main story of this game, especially in the updated version, excellently acted, excellently voiced, and it's just a really good story. And yeah, it's totally Majima driving. Yeah, okay, let's go for it. I mean, I guess they just figure you won't pay close enough attention. Yeah. Majima is a great rival character, a great personal antagonist.
Hmm? Nani? Huh. Hmm?
It's like not the final showdown, but it's getting close.
Yeah. Huh.
Wait, did he just... Oh god, I hate him with the knife. Oh, barely dodged that. The problem with the knife is I can't really block, I can only damage cancel out of it. Yeah, of all his different stances and weapons, the knife one really wrecks me. Oh yeah, did I mention that doing that whole damage cancel thing requires the heat gauge, so the longer I take damage, the less likely I am to pull that off. Oh, that's bullshit. Alright, time to change strategy. So when he does those combos, as I dodge, I build the gauge. Whoa. This is actually a really good fight arena, though, because I can see everything. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. I really wish that disarmed him. I'm actually pretty sure if he wasn't a boss, it would have. So yeah, he moves too fast to use some of the other styles on him, especially when he has a knife. Yeah. I don't know what the... That's gonna confound me until I figure it out. So, usually when they drop that aura, it's usually either, blue, purple, or yellow. The red one has only started showing up recently, and I don't know how to trigger that. Because the other one, it's just a matter of having enough heat in the gauge, getting close, and hitting triangle. But the red one, no matter what I've done, I haven't been able to pull off the heat move that cancels that recovery. Ah. There we go. Getting my absolutely preposterous amount of experience from him.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think Dojima's kind of one of those characters that works because he's crazy. Because it always, oh sweet, I can use Tonfa nunchucks now. Which I recently gained a really nice Tonfa, so. Alright, anyhow, I'm going to save my game before I forget. Well, I'll do that in a moment. But, what I was getting at is, he's crazy. He's, like, totally nuts. But all he really wants is you to be at your peak strength, because he really likes fighting you at your peak strength. And so he just makes this mission to beat the hell out of you for the entire length of the game until you get there. And, in that aspect, it totally works. It fits his character, it's fun, and it really breaks up the otherwise kind of uneventful gameplay. Because, like, when you walk around and you get accosted by, like, this drunk guy can actually start a fight with me, I think, if I get in his way. Okay, maybe not this one, but sometimes it happens where a drunk guy will do that. But yeah, but with Majima it makes things a little bit more interesting, he's a little bit more challenging, and a lot of experience. I really like it. It does kind of rob some parts of the story of impact, though, because it's supposed to be like, you haven't seen Majima in a while, because, you know, he's not involved in every part of the story, but he became such a fan favorite character later that they just pulled him back in for this. And, like, I like it, but they should have maybe adjusted things a little bit in the main story to reflect that. Yeah. Well, anyways. game is super duper pretty, crazy realistic. Pretty much everything you eat, consume, drink, visit. Like, I haven't even shown any of the bar stuff, and all the bars have like a drink list where they'll give you like a detailed description on the drink and its year and its flavor. And yeah, it's really out there. It's excellent. But yeah, the combat though starts off really rough. I think it's kind of like God Hand in that respect, if you're familiar with that. It's just rough at the start because you don't have all your moves, you don't have all your heat gauge, you have low health, and if you just happen to do things in the wrong order, you can really set yourself up for some rough times. There was one fight I really wish I had recorded, and the one I'm really glad I didn't have recorded was the fight I had about maybe a third or quarter into the game, where I had a boss fight that I had to redo like a dozen times because I hadn't figured out that whole aura mechanic yet with stopping their healing, and I hadn't finished any of these fighting styles. So whenever I took damage, I just got stun locked forever. So it wound up with me dying a lot. It was very frustrating, but now it's super fun. All the mini-games in this game, you can also play 2-player, though. The rock, paper, scissors mini-game, which I haven't shown off yet. The poker, odds and evens dice game. Hold on, there's something rattling around. What the heck? What's going on with the taxi? Must have just been my imagination, he says. But he got a free item out of it, so strange. Anywho, I'm gonna go ahead and cut the broadcast here. I wish I could show some like more detailed stuff from like boss fights in the game, because those are really fun, but I need to get a capture card to do that. Yeah, see, this is what I mean about things being kind of realistic. Jackasses harassing women. That happens. And then the woman fades into mist and you beat up the hookers. Yeah, but alright, since I have them, I'm gonna try and use the Tanpa. Oh man, that's awesome. It's only one. Sweet. Ah, just give me an item. Wait. I just finished the fight. Damn it! I knew it had to be Majima. Oh man, I don't have enough of this stuff. Alright, I need to use this. I'm gonna die. I can already tell. Yeah, if you look at Majima's health bar, he's now got a blue one on the top, which is not good for me. At least he doesn't have a knife, though. Stand up, man. Come on. Ah, crap. You can taunt, which helps. Okay, tired of that. Threw out a blue aura, so I just switched my blue style and used a heat move to stop his healing. But earlier in the boss fight, you started doing the red aura, and I don't know how to cancel that one. Yeah, this is by far the most mobile of the styles, which is really helpful against him. Most of the bosses I stick with the blue style, the Shinjiro style I'm in right now, but Mashipa's just way easier with the dashing style, or rush style. Because he himself is really fast, especially with the... right now he's in blue as well. Yeah, I guess I forgot to mention that. He mostly uses the same techniques as you. Not gonna risk it. Yeah, once upgraded, you can dodge out of attacks in this style, while the other one can, just like you dodge out of its range. Both of which mean you take a lot less damage. Oh wow, that was a good finish. Alright, I keep trying to find a good place to call it. And that's kind of the problem with this game, why I enjoy it so much, is that you just wander around and stuff happens. It's a little bit weird when you're like wandering around in a super important mission and there's blood pumping music and then all of a sudden like somebody stops you. It's like, hey man, can you get me a beer? And the music changes and you trigger a submission. Anywho, I'm gonna go ahead and cut it off here because if I keep walking around, that'll keep happening forever. And it's super fun, but I can't stream forever. So, later.